Hi everyone, it's Claire from ScrappyNerdUK and welcome to episode number 7 of the Cut Files. We are nearing the end of this series. It's going pretty quickly, so I hope you are enjoying the layouts that I'm making and the mini albums that I'm making in this series. So I want to focus in this video on using mixed media with a cut file. So I don't want to use any pattern paper. I do cheat a little bit and you'll see that very shortly, but I don't want to use any pattern paper as my background or to back the cut file. I just want to use mixed media to make my own background and decoration. So what I've done is I've just grabbed a piece of white cardstock and I have pulled out two colours, which is the spun sugar and salvaged patina in the distress oxides. And then I'm just using this handy dandy tool from Nuvo, which enables me to blend or get that ink down. Now this is my second attempt at this one and I was a little bit heavy handed with that salvage patina. But this is what it's going to look like once it sits on. So we've got like a half and half, almost, could you call it ombre if it's kind of blended in the middle? I don't know. But I switched it out for the other one that I made where I wasn't so heavy handed with that salvage patina. So I'm much happier with that one. So I'm just going to use my Posca paint pen and just shaking that up and adding some white ink splatters around the background. Again, just to add some more interest. And then once I've got any bigger gaps covered, I'm just going to put that to one side to allow that to dry. I left the cut file on the middle as well, just to see exactly where I wanted those white splatters. I kind of just wanted them around rather than underneath it. So now on to some more mixed media with the heart. So these are the negative parts from the cut file. So what I want to do is I want to use the same two colours, the spun sugar and salvage patina. And I just want like a marbled effect on these hearts. So I start off by just dumping them into the watered down ink. But then I found that the colours were getting very muddy, and that's what's going to happen. So with the distress inks, I should have waited. I should have put one colour down and then layered it. Once it's dry, layered the other colour on top. But lesson learned, and I'm just making do. So I'm just going to leave that to one side to dry. And then I realised that the two colours, because I had put them both down at the same time, they have blended to like this blue colour. So I'm just going to come in with my paintbrush and then I just use my finger in the end just to help blend it a bit better, to add in a bit more of that salvage patina colour. I really want to keep the colours to similar to what I've got on the background, and they are going to be different anyway because the background was applied using the applicator. So whenever you use different techniques to apply ink, then you are going to always have different results. So, and this one was obviously watered down a bit. So I'm just going to then use the rest of that watered down salvage patina ink and add some messy ink splatters on top of my on top of the hearts. You can see that mat that I have there, I use it a lot for ink blending and it's very well loved. So it's a great little mat to be able to get messy on. And then I added some of the Heidi Swap Heidi Swap Colour Shining Gold over the top of that as well. And again, I've just set that to one side to fully dry. Meanwhile, I am then dealing with the cut file. So as I said, I am not using any pattern paper. So the cut file is going to be stuck down exactly as it is. And that is going straight down onto the background. And quite often I use foam behind cut files to pop it up. But this cut file, it's got very thin cut lines. So I'm not going to be doing that. And actually I quite like having that straight on the background as well. Now I'm going to work with my photo. It's a photo of me and my sister. And she's a naughty little scamp because she doesn't like to look at the camera when I try and take a photo, so she looks away. And yeah, I just love her personality in this photo. So I'm going to use this one and just using some tissue paper to avoid the pattern paper again to add some layers behind my photo. So because there's this bright pink colour in the photo, I'm also going to add a pop of bright pink tissue paper, and then I'm going to add another layer of tissue paper. I'm going to do that in white, and I always like to keep tissue paper that you get in packaging. They are great to use on your scrapbook layouts. So if you haven't used tissue paper before, then I do encourage you to give it a go. So I'm just going to give that a bit of a wider layer behind the pink one, just so you can see it. And then that is going to get tucked. You can see there that I have lifted the cut file slightly just to be able to get my photo tucked underneath, just so it's not floating on its own and it's incorporated as part of the layout. And then I'm going to pop a doily underneath. I do end up swapping out that doily for a bigger one, and that just goes straight underneath the photo. And I'm just going to glue that down. I'm happy with the placement and the placement of the photo as well. So I'm just going to use some double-sided tape just to make sure it stays in place. Had a bit of trouble getting the backing off of that, but got there in the end. And then I'm just going to layer that cut file back down over the photo, and like I said, to make it look like it's all incorporated. Then just having a look at my hearts that I've added that ink, mixed media ink onto. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to offset them into where they came out of. So there are, I think there's three different size hearts on this cut file. So I'm just guessing where they're going back in. And I'm just using a little bit of foam adhesive underneath to just pop them up, which is, you've seen in previous videos, it's one of my favourite techniques. It just adds that extra dimension when everything else in the layout is going to be quite flat. So yeah, just going through and adding all of those hearts back into where they've come from. And then I'm going to work on a few clusters. So I'm going to use the, so these flowers, so when I say that I've not used any pattern paper, these flowers are actually from a pattern paper. When I went to my stash, this is using Bloom Street. When I went to my stash, I realised that I didn't have many flowers or anything left really from this collection. I've got paper, but not many embellishments. So I decided that I was going to fussy cut the florals from the paper to help me finish this layout. And if you aren't aware, the cut files are all from the Paige Evans Etsy store. And I will leave a link in the description box down below for you. So if you want to go and check out the cut files, then I encourage you to. They're they are very inexpensive, and they add such a lovely touch to any scrapbook page. So yeah, head on over and go and have a look. Anyway, so back to my layout. So I was going to add another little floral cluster there just above my photo, but I don't think I do in the end. I don't think it works well for me. Instead, I'm looking at the placement of where my title is going to go. And what I'm actually doing here is, luckily I hadn't stuck these bits down. So I'm just taking a pair of scissors to the cut file. And ideally I would have done this prior to sticking the cut file down. But I didn't know where my title was going to go. But I just had a bit of dust on my layout and I blew it and the flowers went everywhere. And I know that you feel my pain. I know that I'm not the only one that this happens to. But anyway, I'm just going to get those stuck down before I end up flying anywhere else. And then my title. So working on my title, I've cut those two bits out of the cut file to allow me some space to add my title in. So I start off with this pack of puffy words from the Bloom Street collection. And I'm going to call this Beautiful and Sweet. And so I've got the word beautiful here and it fits almost perfectly in this gap. I have to squeeze it in, but it fits very well. And then in the same collection, there's another pack of puffy words, but they're actual like the scripty words. And they are the thicker branded ones, which you'll see in just a second. So I'm going to use the ampersand from this pack So I actually had 2 packs of these, and you might have seen me use the ampersand already, but it's okay. I've got another one here. So I'm just going to move that heart out of the way, and I'm going to add that in. And then this is where the extra words, so it's going to say beautiful and sweet. These aren't so scripty, but I love these, so I'll be gutted when I've used them all. But there's not many left on there now, so I'm working my way through this collection. And there are, like I said, I've got dregs of the embellishments left, so I just need to get the final few bits used up and out the door, ready for the next collection to come in. So that other heart I had to pick up just to be able to get that ampersand back in, but I have just added the heart back, and it just overlays the that ampersand fine. Now I'm going to use some stickers that I've got left over as well from the same collection. So I was looking for my powder tool, which is great for heat embossing, but it's also great to take the stick off of the back of any stickers, which I prefer to do when I'm adding foam. However, I couldn't find it to hand, and so I thought I would just stick the sticker to my leggings, and look how much lint came off of it. Yeah, it's crazy, but no one's going to see it on the back. So I'm just adding my foam, and then I ended up ripping the sticker in half. I just had a bit of a nightmare at that moment. So I'm just sticking that up into that cluster up there. And I love the sentiment where it says showered with love. And then on to just working on this little cluster down here. I don't want that floral sticker to interfere with the photograph too much. I realise now that actually it's kind of covering one of my sister's eyes, so that wasn't ideal, but hey, it's done. It's a photograph scrapped, and that's the main thing. So I think that's all I use on the sticker sheet, and then I'm just going in with some enamel dots, and these are called glossies. These aren't part of the collection, but they do match the colour tones. And then finally I'm going to add some, just deciding if I want another flower on there. I'm going to add some stitching on as well to this layout. So I'll pull out my white gel pen, and then I'm going to add some fake stitching down those, I don't even know what you call them, they're like guide ropes. So I'm just going to add some fake stitching down here just to complete the layout. And then this is finished. So thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, I would appreciate it if you gave the video a thumbs up. And if you are new to my channel, I'd love you to subscribe. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave those down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye.